Yo guys, and welcome to a new video. Today I will be talking about the first episode of the second season of Peacemaker. Alright, so after a 3-year break, Peacemaker has finally returned to our screens with a second season after we saw Peacemaker for the last time in Superman last July. So that was also pretty awesome. Today we have the first episode with him, also the first episode with him inside of this new DC universe, and also the first episode from Peacemaker whatsoever that is canon to this universe and not the DC EU. And that is where the really wonky shit with this season starts off immediately. Like we were all thinking, okay, so if Peacemaker is going to be part of this new version of DC, of this new universe, of this newly established thing, how are you going to explain certain events that happened in the first season of Peacemaker and in the previous past of Peacemaker with him being a part of the Suicide Squad and stuff like that? So my guess and everyone's guess was, okay, so if that's canon, then also other things are canon, like Amanda Waller is still a thing. Amanda Waller is still being played by Viola Davis in the next coming of projects within the DCU, so that is going to be the same. But okay, so if everything from the Suicide Squad is going to be the same, then maybe we will also get Harley Quinn again. Harley Quinn will still be played by Margot Robbie, who seems perfect for the role because she is fucking perfect for the role. And when people ask James Gunn if she was coming back to it, well, he just winked and laughed, so that is pretty much confirmation, I guess, that Harley Quinn will still be played by Margot Robbie. So I have no idea where the fuck we are standing with the DC universe. But there was one big thing at the end of the first season where the Justice League came in, and you saw the Flash and Aquaman and of course Wonder Woman and the other guy, Superman. You saw them all. Some of them were just silhouettes because they couldn't get the actor for that, or they didn't want to have the actor for that. But Aquaman and the Flash had a little talking scene with each other, so how on earth would they be able to fix that? And well, this season started off with a recap, and I was waiting for the moment, and the moment came when it was the Justice Gang, of course. Spoilers alert if you haven't seen the episode, go watch the episode and come back. I will talk about spoilers. So yeah, that was a pretty genius way to wrap your head around it. I think we can just safely say that whatever happened in the DC EU happened in another universe. Like in the multiverse, you have multiple things happening at the same time or happening quite similarly. I think that's how they're going to explain it all. Like this same thing happened to Peacemaker, only at the end it was his version of the Justice League with the Justice Gang instead of the Justice League, which is a pretty okay way to say it. I would totally agree if that was going to be the case, but that was a good way to top off what happened in the last season, and now we are back for another ride, and we start off pretty fast with not only the big references to the DC universe, which I love, but also another multiversal story, which is something that will need to win me over. I've always loved the multiverse for what it was. I'm still loving the multiverse for the possibilities it can bring. But I do feel like the multiverse hasn't come off the screen in the best way possible, and I also thought that the Superman movie from a month ago did some pretty big things, like with the dimensional rift that they created and stuff like that. It was okay, yes, I got where they were going, but I thought it was a pretty big leap from just having tech being available to creating pocket dimensions and stuff like that. And then I was also thinking, oh, they're gonna bring it into Peacemaker as well, but I totally forgot that the guy already had it for a storage purpose. So that was on my part, and I chose to have Peacemaker with that. And I don't care about it being a thing now. And I have to say, the thing that they did with the story and with the thing that they did with the multiverse being included in this season already is, well, something I did not expect is what I thought of it. I thought all of the emotional beats that they were trying to pull off with the family dynamics of the new Peacemaker and of that universe and in association with what was happening on his own universe and the DCU main universe. I thought that the emotional beats were infinitely better than the forced jokes beats. And that is saying something because, first of all, it's James Gunn and it's Peacemaker, and Peacemaker is funny as hell. And I have a feeling that, yes, some of the jokes were good in this episode, but there were also a lot of jokes that just completely went over my head or I did not find that funny. But all of the emotional things, those really got me, and I absolutely loved what they did with those emotional beats, and I'm a big fan of what they chose to do with that. Everything from the family dynamics in the end, and from the choices that Peacemaker was making, and from the little trailer at the end of the episode, I love what they are doing with it, and I am deeply excited to see where they are going with the story and what they are going to do with it, and if they are able to keep it up. But it's James Gunn, so of course we know he's gonna keep it up. I'm also very happy that this season also brought back the return of the best character DC has ever seen. Yep, indeed. I mean this guy, John Economos. I love John Economos. He is so awesome. He's so funny. He's so cool. He's the best thing in DC by far. I love him. And I'm so happy that they brought him back. Even though it was just a minor role for now, I hope they do him more justice and bring him back bigger. He was also in Creature Commandos. I also really loved his inclusion in that. So yes, I feel like we're off to a pretty great start here. What I said with some of the humor didn't really work for me was mostly got to do with that scene where he was doing a job interview for becoming a part of the Justice Gang. Fun cameos, liked them being there. I also thought the inclusion of Maxwell Lord was funny, but the entire thing with the microphone just didn't work for me, and they kept it on for so incredibly long. And I thought what they probably wanted to show us, but I don't really like, is the fact that they made the Justice Gang just a bunch of assholes. They weren't the nicest guys to begin with in the Superman movie, but they were still bearable and they were still nice. And here they're just straight up assholes, and I don't really like that. I hope they will give them some more redemption or some more justice so that they are nice additions to the cast as well, because right now I was just absolutely despising Guy Gardner for everything that he stands for. And I already didn't like how assholey he was in Superman. I still thought he had charisma in that one, that which made him likable. In this, it was just very unlikable. So yes, I am a pretty big fan of Peacemaker Season 2, Episode 1. It's off to a great start. I do think the humor was more missed than hit for me personally, and mostly got to do with that one scene. But the emotional beats and the emotional moments definitely got there in the end, and definitely made me excited for what's to come in this season. I do think that the ending was pretty damn interesting, was pretty damn great, and I am thoroughly enjoying where that might go next, because that was a very solid fight scene with a very interesting end that of course everyone saw coming, but still ballsy, and I love it. I can't wait for episode 2 airing next week. And what did you think of this episode? I'm not going to give a score now. I'm going to give a score at the end of the season for the entire series. What did you think of it? Please let me know in the comments down below, because I'm really excited to hear your opinion on it. I want to thank you for watching, and I would like to see you in the next video. Thank you, and bye-bye.